emotions. What are your emotions right now? You're in the winner's circle with the Preakness.
Well, they're pretty good. They're pretty high. I can't even believe this is happening. It feels like a dream. So, I couldn't be happier. And what could be better?
That's true. We got the wind vane painted today.
So I want you to walk me through this horse's path. If it weren't for the pandemic, you're not standing here probably. Walk me through that decision-making process and how it unfolded.
Okay, well, that's very true. We view ourselves as small-time commercial breeders. This horse was aimed at a 2-year-old sale in Ocala, Florida, and our consignor, Eddie Woods, told me that he didn't have any confidence that that sale was going to come off. And in fact, it did come off, but it was delayed by like 2 or 3 months. But back in March, I believe it was, he told me, maybe you should just run this horse. And the family has a history of winning early. One of his brothers, Kono, won in his second start. That was the first horse out of the dam. And the next horse, Treasure Trove, won in his first start. So there was a history of winning early. So I thought, it was a pretty good idea. So we shipped him out to California to Mike McCarthy. And I got to tell you, the initial reports weren't stellar. I heard he doesn't have any speed. I mean, yeah, that's not what you want to hear. We were trying to win early with a 2-year-old. But Michael thought maybe if we went in one of the very first route races, he could get it done. And that's what we did. We aimed for a turf race, 1 mile on turf at Del Mar. I think it was July 25th. And he won very impressively. It was really impressive, I thought. He came home in 22 and change, which is pretty unheard of for a 2-year-old first-time starter. And I honestly thought there'd be big offers on him after the race. And there weren't. And the reason there weren't was the time wasn't very good. It was 1:38 and 2, I think, and 1:38 and 1. It was kind of a slow race. And the initial buyer number was 48. And nobody pays big money for a horse that ran a 48 buyer. So that sort of explains why there are no offers. And 2 weeks later, though, we found out that the clock was malfunctioning at Del Mar. They had installed a new timing system. And the times were all off, especially for the races that were 1 mile on turf. And perhaps that race wasn't as slow as it looked. Or, the 1:38 and 2 time might have been off by a full second or so. So that was another kind of fluke thing that happened that caused us to keep the horse. Because, if there was a decent offer after that race, we might have sold it.
All right, I'm going to ask you this question, and I want you to answer however you want. Why are you standing here right now?
We've been in the business a long time, and it's something we've learned to do together. And it's kind of a legacy, especially starting with our mare, Ultra Fleet. And this is part of our legacy. It's part of our family.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have any children, so the horses are kind of our children. You look at our refrigerator at home, and it's full of pictures of horses. We've got a room dedicated to winner's circle photos.
Now we got a place for the woodland vase. That's pretty special.
You said you thought you'd be crying. What did you expect your emotions would be?
I had no idea. We've never been in a position quite like this, so I didn't know what to expect, but it was just it was surreal. It's just surreal. It's just unbelievable.
How are you going to celebrate?
Oh, we're going to do some drinking.
My man! All right. Did I miss anything we need to get?
Go to Diane.
Okay.
What were you most excited about?
The wind vane being painted, and the woodland vase and the history surrounded by that is probably the most favorite part of the Triple Crown. So I'm just ecstatic to witness, really.
So 2020 was a tough year for a lot of people with the pandemic.
This is our silver lining of the whole pandemic, really, of everything. Just a dream come true.
One last thing. Mike said right before they came out, he had a little message for Mr. Lucas and Mr. Fletcher that he had something for them. What was your level of confidence?
My level of confidence wasn't that high. I thought he would run well. I thought he would run his best race ever, but I wasn't sure if that was going to be good enough to hit the board. Obviously it was, and I want to thank all the people involved, especially Mike McCarthy, but also Flavian Pratt, Woods, Brogdon's, Ben Berger, everybody who's laid a hand on this horse, because it does take a team, and blessed that we have a pretty good team. It doesn't really surprise me that Rombauer's a good horse, because he comes from a family, there's lots of good horses. The amazing thing is that we still own this horse. That's the amazing thing.
Congratulations. Drink 6 or 8 for me.
Okay,
Appreciate
we'll
you.
do.
Appreciate